Crowbros here, and a guest.
Hello.
This is Alex. We are here to give a short, spoiler-free review of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. We just got out of the theater. We've been talking a little bit about it. So, just as a little bit of background, we are life Star Wars fans. Alex is a newly converted Star Wars fan. General thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, I was really excited to watch this movie. I was thinking, this is going to be the best Star Wars movie ever made because the trailers looked amazing, and the cinematography looked awesome, the acting looked great, and it is a really good movie. But, I don't know, what did you think, Alex?
I thought that it was the best Star Wars movie ever made. The cinematography was amazing. It was super, super good. As a newly converted Star Wars fan, probably the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen.
And so I think we're kind of sitting in order here of liked it the least, not to say that you didn't like it.
I just barely said I thought it was a really good movie, but I have my reservations about it, where I think it was really good, but I still like the originals. I should say Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. I like those definitely better still. But
I feel like we've got to see it again.
Right.
We've got to see it again before we can really pass judgment on where it stands. But
so those
can't really have an opinion on
those were our initial thoughts. But let's talk about the movie a little bit. No spoilers.
Yeah. Kylo Ren was awesome. And
Rey was awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like they did such a good job of setting up these characters for a trilogy.
Yeah.
Sure. That I guess that's not a spoiler. They're the main characters for this trilogy. We know this.
Oh yeah.
And I loved how they set up these characters. They developed them in a way that it was personal to you.
Yeah.
Everything that they did was personal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really liked the movie a lot.
I like that even after watching it, there's still an air of mystery.
Yeah.
You really don't know what's going to happen, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what the original trilogy did to a certain extent. They left,
Empire.
Yeah.
But Star Wars.
Well,
A New
Star
Hope,
Wars.
It was tied up. It was packaged.
No, there's still a lot of
necessarily,
mystery.
yeah.
You don't really understand what the Force is.
That's true, but there's more. I'm going to say there's more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In this to lead to the next. You want to see the next one right now.
Absolutely.
I think at the end of Star Wars, that was really amazing. Not that we saw it in theaters or anything, but that it was good. But it was the loose ends were tied up, mostly.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But still, when, like you said, it bears a lot of resemblance to New Hope, and there's just, New Hope was my favorite of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And this is just super good.
With the mystery as well that it brings in with Supreme Leader Snoke. He's in the movie for sure, and so is Luke. They're both in the movie, but there's so much mystery surrounding both of these characters that who really are these people? We know who Luke is, but we don't know what he's been doing.
Right,
Yeah.
he's been missing for several years at this
30
point.
years.
We have no idea the person that he is now.
Yeah. So, we've been introduced to this new saga, but we haven't seen the big good and the big bad yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In action.
Yeah.
Which makes me super excited. Actually.
Yeah, because it was just a budding. 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 If you couldn't hear me correctly. Kind of a story of good versus evil. It didn't feel like they were fully developed in
Which is exactly what
that
we
was one of
needed.
the things that I really liked about it. Is neither of the antagonists or protagonists are
completely fleshed out.
Right. They're not they're not completed characters. They're
Yeah.
not. You get to watch them grow over the series.
so
and
true.
I'm super excited
That's
about
so
it.
true. Everybody. I mean, I feel like. I mean, and we'll get this into more of this in our spoiler review, but that a couple of the characters we know. I mean, we know Han, we know Leia,
Yeah.
and it really just kind of brings us back to we know these people. They're the same people.
And when they made it, you could tell that they knew this
Yeah.
going into it. Like those characters are the same characters they were way
Yeah.
back when.
But exactly. But now we have this new generation to follow.
But I agree with you that Poe is a really cool character. He kicks butt, and
Yeah.
it's fun to watch him. Finn is a really interesting character. Rey is interesting. Everyone does a good job acting. It was fun to see. We were talking about how Han and Leia, they're the same characters, and it's fun to see them come back and be the same characters.
Yeah.
And, and I think, I guess we can't say a whole lot of what happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, we don't want to spoil it. So
It's Star Wars,
Yeah.
and when I was watching, I was just like, "This is Star Wars."
yeah,
When the opening crawl came up and everybody
Oh, yeah.
was cheering.
And it's I don't know. It's the episodes 1, 2, and 3 were, in my opinion, very poorly done.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't movies that I really enjoyed, and it was nice to go to see a movie in theaters that was as hyped as
Right.
the original movies. Like it was
Yeah,
just
that's true.
incredible.
That brings us it connects us with our parents'
Yeah.
generation.
yeah.
That our dad saw the Star Wars in theaters like 3 times, 2 times. I don't know. Dad, tell me later. But and he says that it's the most remains to this day one of the most amazing films he'd ever seen or has ever seen. Period.
Yeah. But I will say, I don't know if that impact is equaled with this movie.
Yeah, well, you can't.
Well,
The thing is, like, that movie was so revolutionary.
And that's in my opinion the biggest difference is like you said that you feel like you hyped yourself up too much.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
hyped myself up too much.
They couldn't back then. There was no way to hype themselves that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really have trailers of the movie. I mean, and I'm sure they did.
Yeah, but not to the same
right.
level. The editing wasn't the
Yeah.
same.
And when you go into the theater and you see CGI like that for the first time ever, it's a huge difference between being born when we were born and having played video games and seeing stuff like that on the television. Like imagine going and seeing something like that for the first time in theaters.
Right.
Yeah.
Huge difference in experience.
Yeah. And I think, and we were talking about how this will create new Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was really good. So,
yeah, exactly. And so we definitely endorse the movie. It's fantastic. Everyone go out and see it. And after you see it, watch our spoiler review.
yeah. What do you want to rate it out of 10? I
Okay.
give it 8.5.
I give it a 9.
Oh, I give it a 9.5. Easy.
Yeah. So-
Super good movie.
Progression there.
Yeah, what can you do? So,
Okay.
hope you enjoyed hearing our thoughts. No spoilers.
Yeah.
And if you really want to hear some spoilers, watch our next video.
Yeah.
So,
Crowbros out. And Alex.
See ya.